This is a Chevrolet Silverado. I guess it's 2020 model and is 3500 HD. So what I'll show you the radio installation, and I have an Icom radio here, mobile. So this is an inexpensive antenna. I installed the bracket here. Why? Because it aligns nicely with the FM antenna, which is on the passenger side. Looks nice. It might limit the range, but these guys are working together within like a kilometer range, so they don't really need this type of antenna at this range. But since we started to install other trucks with the same antenna, a little bit of a higher gain, actually gain, but it's narrow beam width, so it goes on range instead of wasting power vertically. So it looks nice, and I'm using an L bracket. Sometimes I use a custom bracket for the specific car, but in this case I found a bolt right here, and I put two more self-tapping screws. So for that you need to lift this plastic rubber material and run the cable somewhere inside, and not far from here there is a grommet for the harness that connects this side of the truck, the engine, with inside the driver compartment area. And the nice thing about this model is that they have a little rubber nipple that you just cut or make a little slice type of cut inside, and you can fish the cable all the way through. So it's designed for this type of extra cables when compared to other cars like Ford, where you have to cut one side, the other side of the big fat grommet. So that's the antenna. It takes you some time to run the cable nicely and use some insulation split loom, because there is some heat around the engine, and over the years of use, the antenna cable coaxial insulation will get damaged, will peel off, or might get harder. And I choose to install the radio here because the customer said they want to install a sort of an electronic control display console somewhere, and they don't care to see the display because it's just one channel system. And I installed the radio into this trim here, and the reason I'm recording is not because it's hard to install this kind of radios, but there are a couple of tricks, or tips I would say. So if you want to install it the way I've done it, sometimes I install it here with an adapter to tilt the radio so you can see it. But since I have the space here, I've used this material. If you have a Motorola radio, the radio is not that long at the back, so you don't have a problem with the heatsink. In this case, I had to cut a piece in order to fit the radio all the way to the back. Otherwise the radio would stick out, and they wanted this space. Now, if you want to use this method, or this spot, you can use somewhere else. You can install it somewhere inside. Depends what the customer wants. Some of those I install it on the dashboard on the top right here, the adapter bracket. So each customer wants stuff differently. Many times, or most of the time, I have choices. And if you want to use this spot, which is nice, right? Just let you know, don't pry down here. Most people see this joint between the two pieces of plastic, two panels, and they are tempted to pry down, and what happens is they will break some tabs. So the tabs are horizontal or not vertical. So again, that's important to know if you want to install the radio there. So there is a screw here. You need a socket. Take that screw out. Then pull. Don't pull down. Right? Pull horizontally, and you will see a couple of clips or locking tabs that are horizontal. Then I'll show you how I install the fuse. So the cable comes out like right there. You see, it's nice and clean. You may want to use some silicone on the other side if you make a. Let me take the face mask. This COVID thing, have to wear mask all the times. So you may want to use a bit of silicone on the cable, so when you pull the cable will cover nicely the hole. But if you make a small hole just for the cable, that rubber will expand, it will squeeze around the coaxial cable, and you have a nice tight fit. Then you run the cable on the top somehow, then you go behind this thing. Like I said, once you take this one out, you will see this post, the metal post, you see already rusted. It's brand new car, but already rusted. That's common with American cars. And yeah, so the power goes in a similar way. It doesn't look too pretty, but like I said, I had to cut a piece of that plastic in order to fit the Icom radio. The Icom radio is long, to fit it all the way to the back. So let me show you the power. So that's the radio, and the power, you run it underneath here on the passenger side. There is some spots you can attach the cable, and I've used a split loom. You can see the black stuff that gives you extra insulation, extra protection, especially when you run these cables around the sharp edges. Like this car is full of stuff like that, like this metal, and they, of course, yeah, I feel it can cut your hands pretty nice. So I ran I hidden the extra power cable somewhere, so I made a loop in case someone wants to move the radio or take the radio out and install it on different car. And the two fuses in line that came with the cable, but also I installed a fuse adapter which has another inline fuse. And the fuse that I used, part of the car, is fuse number 47. I mean, you could use different one, but they wanted constant power, like a constant 12 volts. They want to hear the radio while the truck has the key out, and that's the way I've done it. And most cars I install it switch, so I choose different fuse. So why I use this fuse panel, and I rarely use the fuse panel, fuse box into the engine compartment, because logically the designer, the engineers wants to separate the two circuits. So you have the engine that has different circuits, sensors, powers, pumps, whatever it has there, and those will maintain the engine running. So if you blow a fuse inside here, it will blow the fuse here, which is the fuse box or fuse panel just for the driver environment, so you don't affect the health of the engine. You can get home, you fix your lights or whatever you do, but the engine is still running. Yeah, so some people install the radios using wrong fuse. I've seen a weird one fuse the electronic control module, like a engine computer fuse. They attach the radio to that fuse, you know. Then the horn, that's another stupid one, installing the radio on the horn fuse. That even a worse one, a airbag. That's the I only seen one, but you know, when you see this thing, you think, who teaches these people? Are they self-taught, or where they go to school or something? Anyway, so that's my circuit here, usually I install a label, sticky label here on the wire that says QA radio or a mobile radio or a VHF radio. Yeah, so that's my installation for today. This is not to show you how you do it. You can install it, like I said, anywhere you want. You can install it in the middle. If you install it on the roof, you can do that if they want you to do that. So, but mostly is to show you how not to break a couple of things. And also about this one, I almost forgot. This cover, trim or whatever it is, if you want to run the cable and the ground, there is a ground bolt right here. And watch out, when you disconnect that ground, you may blow something inside, so you need to have maybe a clip or a temporary ground while you disconnect that bolt, or maybe remove the battery. The safest way is to remove the battery terminal. So you run your ground here, like I've done here, but this one has two tabs, two kind of attaching tabs or clips, and one is here, one is there. So when you pull, you may break some plastic here. So you need to use a prying tool that you go behind this thing and be careful. But before you pull there, you need to remove it here in this area. So first you need to remove this trim, then the next one you pull up. Don't do anything weird. So pull up, you have a couple of clips here, maybe 3 or 4, and you will feel it pop, 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 pop. And then when you have this part free, then you start pulling. Maybe first you pull this one, because this one is already up. You pull this one with care. Don't yank it. You could break stuff, especially with this cheap new plastic. So this one, then this one, or maybe you want to do this one, but I would go the way you have to do it. So pull this one out, then this one, because it's natural, is the next one in line, then the one on the top, and you have this panel out, and you can work, and you see some wiring, some harnesses. You can do whatever you like. So Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD mobile radio installation. Bye bye.